Hello and welcome back to the beautiful Lake District National Park. Today we are doing an absolute classic Lake District horseshoe walk. We're doing the Fairfield horseshoe. The sun is shining extremely bright today. There isn't a cloud in the sky and winter has well and truly arrived in the UK. We've had an Arctic blast the past few days. We've had, I don't know if you can see, a tiny dusting of snow. It's about 0 degrees in the lower levels. I've just parked the car on Ambleside and the car said 0 degrees on the dash. It's going to be about -4, -5 up on the tops. And there are some big gusts of wind blowing around today. So I think it's going to be absolutely Baltic up on the tops today. Many horseshoes to do in the lakes, but the Fairfield horseshoe is probably the most popular, probably because it starts in Ambleside. It's a great hike. There's loads of Wainwrights to do. The route I'm doing today, there'll be 8, and there is options to add on a couple extras as well if you wanted to. So yeah, it's a really good hike. My original plan today was to head up over to the Langdales and do Bow Fell and Crinkle Crags, but I've left some of my more winter style footwear back in the Peak District by mistake. So I thought I'm going to do the Fairfield horseshoe because it's a little bit less technical than the Langdale area. I've got my micro spikes in my bag if required. I don't think I'm going to need them today because I don't think it's going to be snowy or icy enough for that. But I've got them just in case. I'm not going to talk for too much longer because I need to get my gloves on. My digits feel like they're going to fall off. I'll catch up with you throughout the route as always. I'll tell you all the different Wainwrights we're doing because yeah, like I said, there's 8 today. So it's a really good route for you Wainwright baggers as well. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and I'll catch up with you probably at the first Wainwright of the day. Not a bad view. So I've just done the steep climb out of Rydal. I forgot to say at the beginning of the video that I'm doing the route clockwise today, and that's the preferred way of doing this route for me because there's a little road section at the beginning coming out of Ambleside to Rydal, and then there's a flat section over to Rydal, and then a very steep climb. So it's good to get that out of the way first in my opinion, and then once you've done that horrible steep climb, you're greeted with some of the best views in the Lake District. So we've done one Wainwright already. One of the viewpoints down there, which I hopefully labelled for you, it's called Nab Scar, so that's Wainwright number 1. We're now heading up towards Wainwright number 2, which is called Heron Pike, which you can see directly in front of us. It is crystal clear today. You can see for miles. You can see all the way over to the sea before. These mountains over here in front of us, these are the Langdales here. You can get a really clear image. I don't know if you'll be able to see very well on this camera, but this is Pavey Arc. You've got Piker Stickle, Harrison Stickle, and then you've got Bow Fell. You can see the band going up to it. Crinkle Crags, Piker Blisco. That's the route that we were going to do today. And then over here you've got the Coniston Fells. So yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. So we're just over 5k into the route and we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. I'd say we're probably about a quarter of the way, even though it doesn't feel like it. Why is there a golf tee? That is probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen on the fells. I would usually pick something like that up because I guess it's litter, but maybe someone's put that there for a reason, to mark something, so I'm going to leave that there today. But that is very weird. I'd be surprised to see someone teeing off up on Heron Pike. Haven't really experienced too much wind. I thought it was going to be blowing an absolute hoolie up here, but it seems to be coming from the north today, so hopefully, fingers crossed, a lot of this route should be relatively sheltered, because we're heading directly up north and hopefully the fells in front of us will block it off, and then obviously when we're coming back down south the wind will be behind us, giving us that extra little push that's needed for the second half of the route. So that'll be nice. Oh, look at that view. Jeez. Insane. I think I've nailed my layering system today, because I'm feeling perfect temperature. It's a little bit sweaty going up that incline there, which is always going to happen, but I feel a very good temperature right now. I've got 4 layers on, which probably seems a bit excessive, but I've got a merino top on, then a very thin sort of micro fleece, and then a very thin insulated synthetic jacket, and then this sort of soft shell wind stopper on the outside. I've got my down jacket in the bag and my waterproof, obviously. If things change, which I don't think they will today, I might need it at the top if I stop for my butty and a little snack. One thing I'm massively regretting is not bringing a coffee today, or just a hot flask of anything. I brought my flask up with me from home and it has just disappeared. And it's days like today where a nice coffee with a little dash of something stronger in it goes down an absolute treat at the summit. I'm going to put the camera down now. We're nearly up at Heron Pike. Marine rank number 2 of 8 today, and probably the next catch up is going to be at the summit of Fairfield, where hopefully we'll have a little dusting of snow. And yeah, I'll carry on showing you these insane views, because yeah, what an insane day. So we're at the summit of Fairfield. Look at that view of the Eastern Fells. Woo! I was looking over to Helvellyn and Dollywagon, and you can see the top of Catsticam. And this ridge right here, this Striding Edge. Woo! What a view, man. There's actually a fair amount of snow up here as well. It is absolutely Baltic. My nose feels like it's about to fall off. Sorry if you can't hear me very well because of the wind, but whew, that final climb was brutal. The wind was right in my face. My nose got absolutely frozen. I forgot to pack my balaclava or buff today, rookie error in winter. So my nose got absolutely frozen. It is just so cold up here. The snow is like that really fine powder when it's really cold. It's just stunning up here though. You can see it's very fine, powdery snow. There's not loads of it, but there's definitely more than I thought there was going to be. I'm just heading over to show you the full view of the horseshoe. So it's all in view now. The last wain route I did was Great Rig, so we summited that and then we came up to Fairfield, and you can see the ridge that we've come along already. We're going to go all the way around here now, over to here, and then all the way down this ridge here, where there should be another 4 Wainwrights to bag. We're over halfway now, with the majority of the rest of the route is downhill. I'm going to put the camera down and I'll have a proper catch up with you when I'm out of this wind. Right, we've managed to get out the worst of that wind up there. As always, when you get to the top, that's when you get all of the incredible views. So I got my camera out and I stood around a bit and I felt fine. Took my gloves off a few times to take pictures, and before I knew it, my hands had got really cold. I'd got really cold. Whoa! Nearly man down. So yeah, we had a very short chat up on Fairfield, and then I actually did a bit of a jog just to warm up, and then I got round just beneath Hart's Crag, and there wasn't a breath of wind there. I nearly fell over again. There wasn't a breath of wind there, and yeah, had a little sit down, had a bagel, had some mini cheddars, the red Leicester mini cheddars. Whew, unreal. Highly recommend them as a hiking snack. It's absolutely stunning now. We're walking down this ridge, heading towards High Pike and Low Pike, and it's just heaven. It's just absolute heaven. We're getting towards that golden hour period now because it's nearly 2 o'clock and the sun sets at 4 o'clock. So actually, to be honest, I think it's later than 2. What time is it? Yeah, it's 2:30. So we've got an hour and a half of daylight left, which is plenty of time to get off, and we're going to get a beautiful golden hour coming off here, looking over Lake Windermere. And we might even catch a sunset, but to be honest, I don't want to be hanging around, don't want to be getting off here in the pitch black. I've got a head torch, but don't really want to use it. I've now done nearly 14 kilometers, so although I said this route was just over 10 miles, it's definitely going to come in longer than that. But I started quite deep into Ambleside, so I added on probably about an extra kilometre. So I think the route is still going to come in a bit more than what I originally planned, but that always happens because no one ever walks in a straight line on the footpaths. We've just done 2 more Wainwrights that are hopefully labelled for you. We did Hart's Crag and Dove Crag, so that was the 5th and 6th Wainwright of the route, and then we're about to do High Pike and then Low Pike, and that will take us to 8 Wainwrights for the day. So yeah, it's been a mega day out. That view from the top of Fairfield looking over towards the Eastern Fells towards Helvellyn was just breathtaking. The jets were also flying by in the valleys. They were just a bit too far away for me to catch them. So as you can see, even just from talking on this video, the snow is nearly all gone now. If you look over towards sort of like the far Eastern Fells, it looks like there's nothing up there. Maybe it didn't reach there when it snowed the other day. Anyway, I'm going to carry on because look at that for a view, and I want to show you guys that view. You don't want to see my big Swede, you want to see that beautiful view down there now, don't you? So we'll get off High Pike and Low Pike, and I'll catch up with you probably when we get back to the car. Right, so we are now roughly about a mile away from Ambleside, so final stretch of the walk. The sun is just setting over the Coniston Fells. It's just gone behind a big band of cloud, which I think is due to come in tomorrow. Last day of the sunshine and blue skies for a little while, I think, in the Lake District. Today has just been one of those days in the Fells that I can't fault whatsoever. It was stunning from start to finish, and yeah, such a good day. We finished off with High Pike and Low Pike. It's a really nice little winding path to get back down into Ambleside. It is quite significantly more technical, that section, and that's something to bear in mind. There's a few scrambly sections where you have to use your hands to get down. But if you want to do this route and you're not feeling too confident with scrambling, then maybe it's better to do this route anti-clockwise because it's a bit easier to climb up than climb down. Either way you do this route, you're in for an absolute treat. You're going to get some stunning views, and there's not a breath of wind down here now. A day of two tales. But yeah, I feel, although I'm absolutely cream crackered, I feel on cloud nine right now. November, typically for myself and for many other people, is a bit of a tough one, to be honest. The end of November marks the anniversary of my mum's passing, so it's just always a bit of a heavy one, November, and it doesn't come at a good time because the days are getting shorter. You know, like I was saying earlier, you get up in the morning, it's dark, you get home, it's dark, and yeah, it can be a pretty tricky month to navigate. And I know many other people feel like that. The seasons really do play a massive part in the way that my head works, and many other people's as well. And also today happens to be National Men's Mental Health Day. I'm extremely lucky that I have this hobby and this passion for the outdoors and the hills and the mountains, and no matter how down I'm feeling, I can get out in them, and no matter what, it's going to make me feel a little bit better. If you're having a tough month, doesn't matter what month of the year it is, doesn't matter what day of the month it is, if you're having a tough day, month, year, just chatting to someone will make a massive difference. And if you feel like you don't want to talk, or you're a bit nervous to do it to friends or family, you know, there's people out there, there's the Samaritans who are absolutely amazing. I'll leave their number in the description. I don't want this to come across in like the wrong way, because a lot of people probably see the stuff I'm doing in the outdoors and think, how can you have like an off day and feel down when this is your life? But this is only a tiny fraction of my life, and I'm very grateful for it, and it really helps. And yeah, I guess the message is, if you're having a tough time, try and speak to someone. And if you've got a hobby and a passion, or you know there's something that will put a smile on your face, get out there and do it. I sat in my car for an hour this morning in Ambleside looking at the fells. It's a beautiful day, sunshine, and I just did not want to get out of the car. That's partially because I'm absolutely shattered after doing 7 shifts straight, but also because I just felt a bit low. But I've got out today, I've had the best day, and I feel so much better for it. So, you know, I say it in a lot of my videos, if you can get outside, if you're watching this video, chances are you like the outdoors. Try and get yourself outside, even if it's just to your local park or just a walk around the block. It will make you feel that tiny little bit better. A few years ago I was in a rubbish place, an absolutely rubbish place, and it's hard to believe, but I didn't get out for a hike or go into a national park or anything for a year, which looking back is crazy to think about. But yeah, we've come a long way since then, and just as I say that, up on the fells, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little robin. And that's going to make me start crying, because my mum was an incredible gardener. I had my own gardening business for a little time during COVID, and that was shortly after my mum passed. And whenever I see a robin, it always reminds me of my mum, because they're such a social bird and they're a gardener's best friend. So whenever I saw one, I always thought, that's my mum saying hello. So anyway, I'm going to start crying. Only happy tears, but I'm going to end the video here. My GoPro just died, so I'm filming this end bit on my phone. That's enough of the heavy salad. I hope that message came across in a good way. And yeah, I'm going to end the video here. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't kind of think, wow, this is amazing. Like, look at all this support and love I'm getting, especially since moving to the Lake District. So I hope you all have an amazing Christmas. I hope you all have an amazing New Year. And if it has already happened, I hope you had an amazing Christmas, and I hope you had an amazing New Year. Let's smash 2025. Let's have a great year, and I'll see you all in the next one as always. Thanks for watching. Cheers.